Coming up next, it was graduation time for a very special class of students.
Yeah.
It was the Newcomer Employment Center had graduation for its first class coming out of its employment program.
Yeah, on Friday.
And we're going to meet one of the graduates and talk a little bit about the Newcomer Employment Center through the YMCA in just a few moments. So stay with us as Daytime continues. Well, welcome back to Daytime. Jay Chagnon joining me in the co-host chair from Bark and Fitz in Waterloo. And coming up, it's an opportunity. The YMCA in Cambridge and Kitchener-Waterloo has put together a terrific program. If you're a newcomer to Canada, if you're looking for a job, they can help you out with the Newcomer Employment Center. And recently, they just held a graduation ceremony for the first graduates of the program. How exciting is that? We're going to meet not only one of the facilitators of the program, but also one of the graduates right now. Elizabeth Weisberg joins us, who's an in-class facilitator of the Newcomer Employment Center. Good to have you here.
Nice to be here, thanks.
And we have to say congratulations to Yaoming Wang, who graduated from the program as an electrical and computer engineer. And this was just past Friday. There's your certificate of completion.
That's right.
Wonderful. Well, that must be exciting for you.
Friday 13th.
Friday the 13th was your lucky day.
Yeah, that's right.
See, we knew it was lucky someplace. That's wonderful. Elizabeth, I'd love to start with you and find out more about the program that the Y has put together, the Newcomer Employment Center that you have.
Right. Well, it's a program for skilled immigrants. They already have the skills, they have the attributes, they're looking for Canadian employers. And what the program does is basically give them the skills to go out and look in a Canadian context. So job finding in another country is a completely different experience. If we as Canadians went to find a job, say in Taiwan, we would have to learn new skills to go out and look for work. So that's what we try and help students with here.
Can you give me an idea of what some of the differences might be? I'd never even really thought of it, that the whole job search process would be very different, you know, from country to country. But what would some of the differences be, Elizabeth?
Right. Well, some of the participants we've had, of course, have already been working in their careers, but some of them may never have experienced an interview because that may not be how you get a job. You may not have a job interview that's so formal as here. So going through questions, things to expect in a job interview, like behavioral questions, that's brand new. You're not even talking about your degree or your skills necessarily, but talking about how you would handle certain situations. So it's a new concept.
It's going to be a really valuable resource too, to have that touchstone for someone that is new, to be able, because I can't even begin to imagine how overwhelming it would be for you to come from another country and then transplant yourself here and then have to essentially start over. And so to have that resource where you can, you know, where they can be there to help you out and make things, I imagine, a lot easier. You know, this is pretty remarkable.
Exactly, because besides the class and the instruction that I give, they have each other, and it's one of their first networks, and that's going to build as they work in Canada. We also have the Newcomer Employment Center Resource Center, which has excellent staff that can help them with all sorts of aspects of their job search and provide support, things like faxing. We have computers to use. We have lots of software programs for them to help them in their job search.
So for you, Yaoming, in taking the program and finding out, how helpful has it been for you just to discover this whole Canadian employment system that we have here?
Okay. I arrived here 2 months ago.
Wow.
Pretty new.
Wow.
Yeah, I think looking for the job in the Canada, it's new for me, and I think its whole style is different than my home country. So I joined the job search program to learn how to polish my resume in Canadian style. Yeah, I think that is very important for me. And I'm so proud of becoming the first class graduate student. So the next step for me, I was looking for a company and can working with them and extend my creative talents to resolve R&D or manufacturing issues.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. You bring a wealth of experience to Canada, and I'm sure there are places out there that are looking for exactly what you have to offer. But you're right, it's being able to show them that this is what I've got and let them know this is exactly what I can offer you in that Canadian style.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, with the Newcomer Employment Center, and I understand you've got some new hours that we should let people know about as well. That also helps facilitate it in the job search process, does it? And you can sort of open up those doors for people like Yaoming so that when the jobs come in, you can work together with the employers to help match them up?
Right, we have various services, and like you mentioned, we have extended hours now, so we're open on Saturday mornings and later on Thursday evenings, and you can check out our website for more information on those hours. But we also have job counselors that can meet one-on-one with individuals and help plot out what their best job path may be, and that's, you know, a two-way process.
Well, and that's interesting too, because a job title in one country, when you come to Canada, might not be exactly the same job as you experienced in your home country. It could be completely different here.
That's very true. Yeah, and that's one of the things that we look at when we go through their resume. For example, a supervisor in one country and a supervisor in Canada that may have very different job duties. So we look at what is a typical Canadian supervisor position and then translate that into, you know, what their experience brings before we put that on the resume.
Oh, I find that fascinating.
Absolutely. I mean, I mean, was the transition that substantial? I mean, based on your experience?
Yeah, and because I have some experience in my home country as a manager related to the electrical engineering and the computer. And I also as a supervisor for some innovative team. In Canada, I saw some company, they posted their positions, and I started to study their website and having some network to talk to the employee working for them. And I realized there may be some difference, but I will put my experience on my resume to show my potentials for the job.
Right. And that's all, you know, so important. And even like you mentioned, Elizabeth, the whole resume, I'm assuming even that is different here than it might be in another country, the expectation of what an employer wants to see.
It's very different. And, you know, say that you're new in a country, you're not really sure what the rules are. So to be able to go somewhere and say, is this what people are going to be looking for? What would an employer think of my resume? Some of the employers, because we have employers come in and visit, giving the participants advice. We have employer panels and interview tips. And one of the things that they mentioned in this course was, you know, it's not uncommon to get 16-page resumes from newcomers.
Wow.
You know, you think if you're hiring for a position, 16-page resumes.
Enough to put on 16 pages.
No, I was going to say, I'm about a third of a page there.
Yeah.
You know?
So we're trying, again, to translate it into Canadian style so that their skills and attributes can come out as strong as they really are, because somebody like Yaoming has so many skills, so much positive personality. But to come through in the Canadian context is really the aim of the program, and to be in a group and to get that support.
And I was going to say, like you said before, start that networking process, because now, having graduated with these people and worked with them, suddenly you have this network of people that you know, and I guess power in numbers. The more people you get to know and the more you sort of branch out into the community, the better your chances at getting that job.
That's right.
Wow.
It's
an incredible program. So if anybody's interested in finding out more or knows of someone that would benefit from the program, can they just contact the Y directly?
Sure. They can contact, they can either go on the website or they can contact us directly at the Cross Cultural and Community Services branch on 800 King Street in Kitchener.
Well, it's a terrific program. Congratulations again to you, Yaoming. That's exciting for you and exciting for this community that we have all this extra talent that employers can draw from and definitely make wonderful choices that benefit all of us. Good to have both of you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to be back with more in Daytime in just a moment. Stay with us.